Welcome back to IVB Auto. Today we're going to figure out whether I'm the reason why the alternator went out on my fiance's 2017 Mercedes-Benz GLA 250. Now, if you haven't seen my previous video, we did the PCV valve, the thermostat, the timing chain tensioner. We did a lot of stuff on this car. And the real reason why I mentioned that is because we had some oil shooting out the timing chain tensioner cover. There is a chance that some of the coolant, some of the oil might have got into the alternator and fried it. So that's option one. And at 125,000 miles, option two is that the alternator was just at the end of its life. Now, having done some research, it seems like the average life cycle for these alternators is around 80,000 miles to 150,000 miles. So we are getting towards the upper threshold. So if this pulley is bad, then probably not my fault. If there's fluid inside the alternator, most likely my fault. If it's a combination of the two, then we'll call it a draw. Enough talking, let's get to it. It feels like only yesterday that we were working on this car, but it's been a couple of weeks. This car is being needy. Hopefully, after the alternator, it's going to be good for another 125,000 miles. Now, we are going to be following the all data recommended procedure. So let's see how difficult this is going to be. Step one, removing the cover. Easy as that. Probably the easiest thing we do on this car today. The alternator is right here, so it's going to be fun. Let me show you what we're working with. So here's the engine bay. And right down there, this little guy right here is the alternator. And of course, as other projects on this car, it's not going to be straightforward. We also have a brand new OEM Serpentine belt. I'm not going to go over every single thing in detail because some of my previous videos already cover some of the major steps. So feel free to check out some of my previous videos. The first step is we're going to disconnect the negative battery terminal. I'm going to make sure it doesn't get reconnected. Just like that. Next, we're going to remove the intake. We've done this enough times where I could probably do this blindfolded. The entire piece comes out. And now we have a little bit more room to work with. Next, we're going to remove the fan. Just pull back on this and then pull up. Hood latch is coming out. 3 E10 bolts. Well, I definitely broke a clip. I can't remove this, so I think that was the only way I could get it out. See if I can remove this side as well without breaking anything. There we go. Maybe it was just brittle, but I think that's how you do it. Let's remove this connector right here. Beautiful. So this is the heavy duty connector that goes to the fan. You have to pry this red locking tab down. Then you just pull this black tab also down, and then that removes the connector. Just pull the connector out while doing that. So besides me breaking this tab right here, which I'm gonna have to figure out whether I glue it or zip tie it, I don't know, we're gonna have to figure that out. Everything is going pretty smoothly. All right, let's pull this out and get it out of the way. There is a clip that holds the bundle of wires to the fan shroud that we have to remove. Just all the way down there. A tool like this is gonna come in handy. All right, just like that. I do have to do some wiggling around. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna put it right here. Now you see we have a lot more working room. So down here is the AC compressor, and right above that is the alternator. Ruby! Hi, Pups. He just destroyed the camera. Let me see if I can... All that puppy energy. Come here, boy. Come here. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So unfortunately, our power went out. So if the video is a little bit dark, I do apologize. I'll do my best. We're trying to get this done today. So next, we're going to have to remove the charge pipe that goes to the turbo. It's this hose right here. And as you can see, there's a clip that we need to pull out. And we need to make sure that the centerpiece is fully out so we can remove it. It's the same exact connector as this charge pipe right here. The first time I ever removed this, I had a really hard time. Hey! Power's back on. That was quick. Pop these two clips out this way, and you just have to make sure the centerpiece is all the way out. Otherwise, you'll have a hard time removing the hose. We have a little bit of oil inside, but I think it's normal. We have fixed the PCV valve issue, which I do think that might have been causing it. So I'm going to keep an eye out on that, and I'm going to just put a rag in here so that way nothing falls inside on accident, because that's almost happened to me before. Next, it says remove the heat shield from above the turbocharger. That way it'll give us more clearance to pull the alternator out from here. I think we have to remove these two bolts and then it just clips right in. So I think we just can pull it out. We're going to disconnect the oxygen sensor. Perfect. I don't think it's going to go anywhere now. Just these two right here. And these are E12s. Beautiful. Just like that. So we're gonna have to lift the car up. Feels like I'm doing this job all over again. E-brake is automatically on for us. Now we're gonna remove our fender liner. A couple of 10mm nuts and a couple of push pins. There's a couple down here as well. I'm getting deja vu because we just had to do this in our previous video. It should all just come out now. I'm gonna move this fender liner out of the way. This is our engine belt, aka serpentine belt. This is our AC compressor right here. And right here is our alternator. Now, as you can see, there's a little bit of discoloration, a little bit of rust. It's not looking good for option 1, but let's remove it and get a better look at it. You do have to remove the AC compressor, unbolt it, leave all the AC lines intact. That way we don't release our freon, and that should give us a little bit more room to pull this out. Okay, our next mission is to remove the serpentine belt. I've already replaced the tensioner before in my previous videos, and I went from the top. Now, I do have a universal serpentine belt removal kit, but as you can see, it's just a little too wide. There's not enough room. So what we actually need is this right here. Unfortunately for me, it's not gonna come in time, but I'll be sure to link the Amazon link in the description. If you get this tool, you can go from the bottom and the tensioner is right here in the middle. Next, we're gonna remove the bottom cover right here. And there's just 3 8mm bolts. Wow, it's actually a very, if I had the right tool, it would take 2 seconds to remove this. Or our other option is to wait until Tuesday for the tool to come in. I'll just wait till Tuesday and go do some video editing. Now's a good time to subscribe. If you want to see how to do it without the tool, go to my part 2 100,000 mile service. So it's been a couple of days. We have the tool that finally came in. It only took 2 days. And as you can see, there's a star bit at the very end. So this goes right into the belt tensioner. I've read some comments saying that either this was too long or the handle was too long. Let's see. It's a beautiful Monday evening. We had a beautiful sunset as well. Almost don't even want to work today, to be honest. All right, let's get this belt off. Oh yeah, this is perfect. Now I can just remove the belt as easy as that. The belt looks fine, but I'll do a full inspection when I finally get it out. All right, so belt came off super easy with the tool. I definitely recommend buying this tool. It was only like $32. All these tools I buy myself. I am not sponsored, and I'm only going to recommend high quality tools that make my life easier. So go check them out in my description if you want. So let's take a look at this belt. I replaced this belt at 100,000 miles. So 25,000 miles ago. I mean, everything looks good. I did buy a new belt for $21, an OEM belt, just for peace of mind. The reason why I think my belt was squeaking when I was putting it into reverse gear and the e-brake was on and the AC compressor was on is because the AC compressor puts a lot of load, and with a failing alternator, it probably just made it a whole lot worse. That's why I think when I turned my AC off, the belt wasn't squeaking. And that's why it made me believe that the belt squeak was something to do with the AC compressor. And I do hope that the alternator was the reason why we have a belt squeak going on. And our next step is going to be to disconnect all the wires. There's 2 of them, and the electrical connector that connects to the alternator. Okay, there's one wire right here, and there's an electric connector right here. We're going to pull this cover off, and there should be a 10mm nut on there holding this wire in place. So it's going to be a 13mm nut. I'm going to get this hose out of the way. So as you can see, that's the connector we unplugged. I just tucked it away, and right there is the wire that we removed. Next, we have to remove this bracket right here that holds the AC refrigerant line to the alternator. So here's a zoomed out view and the bolts right there. It didn't take a lot of torque to break loose that bolt. Okay, next we have to disconnect this electrical connector that goes to the AC compressor. Okay, as you can see, the wire is disconnected, and this is the style of connector that's holding in the back. You just got to pull it out. So our next step is to remove the AC compressor. It's this bolt right here, and there's one right at the bottom as well. Oh, no, there's 3. 1, 2, 3. I'll show you where the other one is. There's that 3rd bolt right here on the side. So there's 3 bolts that hold the AC compressor in place. So these are E12s. We kind of have to push our lower radiator hose out of the way. As you can see, these bolts are long. They're the exact same size bolts. I might actually be able to use this E12 wrench from the bottom. All right, the AC compressor is hanging loose, so I think we're good there. So as you can see, the AC compressor is down and out, and we kind of can move it around as we need. Now we got to figure out where the alternator bolts are. So there's one bolt right here with some nice metal shavings. I'm hoping that's from either the alternator pulley or just from the alternator. We're going to pull it out and find out. So the other bolt looks exactly the same, but it's right here. Maybe our E12 wrench will come in handy. And the other bolt's right up here. Okay, we got it loose. I will say that working on cars requires a lot of patience. Okay, final bolt is out, and it is a smaller bolt. Then I think I'll be able to pull it out. We do in fact just have 2 bolts that are holding the alternator in place, and that is the screw for the bracket. All right, so we should just be able to pull it out from the top according to the directions. So let's give it a shot. It's definitely moving, so that's good. We might have to pry it out. Move this line out of the way. And this alternator is pretty heavy, so just be ready to catch it. Don't puncture the AC condenser. And there we go. All right, moment of truth. Let's go to the workbench. So here's the new alternator, and this is the old one. I did go with a remanufactured from Napa OEM Bosch alternator. It's the same as the OEM, but Napa has a limited lifetime warranty, saved a little bit of money, and I was able to get it same day. I'm gonna give it a try. I tried to go from the dealership, but it was 2 to 3 weeks out, straight from Germany. They didn't have anything in the US. Now, if this remanufactured unit fails on me, then I'll have to do this job again. Now, moment of truth. Option 1, we see coolant or any fluids or anything like that, then it's our fault. And if the bearing is bad, then I don't think it's our fault. I don't see any obvious coolant or oil, so that's good. Ooh, okay. I just spun the bearing. I will be honest, and it makes sense too because the alternator is in the front and the oil and coolant, the thermostat, the timing tensioner, bolt, all of that was in the back of the engine. Same side, same passenger side, but it doesn't look wet, and I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. The mic should be able to pick that up. So the final verdict, I'm confident that it's not the coolant or the oil that got into here and ruined it electronically. It's mechanically the bearing has worn out and started locking up. And I think it was giving us a check engine light because we were getting the wrong voltage. And I'm gonna show you what the new one's supposed to sound like. Oh yeah, night and day difference. That is smooth. So we have a Bosch unit. This is the part number 00009061903. And as you can see here, 12 volt, 150 amp. There is a Bosch logo right there. So this is the OEM remanufactured part from Napa. So hopefully this lasts. It's been a couple of weeks, and not only do we have our check engine light that is intermittent, we also have the dashboard lights coming on and off intermittently. The voltage regulator on the remanufactured Napa alternator is not functioning properly. The voltage that I'm getting is anywhere as low as 12 volts and as high as 15 plus volts. So clearly it's not within spec. So that means, unfortunately, we're gonna have to redo this job. I did buy a new Bosch unit, so that's on the way, but at least I'll have this video for reference. And don't let the smile fool you, I am crying inside. The brand new Bosch alternator came in, and it's looking good. And this is the Bosch part number if anyone needs it. Now I will give my fiance's opinion because my dad's not here, and give her the story in the most unbiased possible way. I need your opinion, babe. Come here.
I don't think it's your fault.
All right, fam, you heard it there. It's not our fault. It sounds like it's mechanical, and it naturally came to the end of its life. Thank you, future wifey. I feel a whole lot better knowing that it wasn't our fault. So we're gonna reinstall this in the reverse order, and I'll be sure to point out the torque specs. Starting to get heavy. Getting my workout in. New belt, new alternator going in. I do like to use some contact cleaner on the connectors and some dielectric grease. So all the alternator bolts, I'm gonna torque down to 20 Newton meters. And the nut that goes onto the alternator, I'm gonna torque down to 16 Newton meters. And the second E12 bolt that goes right here, that holds the alternator in place, I can't get a torque wrench on, so I just use this. It's the same tool I used to remove, and I just hand tightened it as much as I could. Now, because the AC compressor uses the same E12 bolts and it threads into the same aluminum block, I'm going to use 20 Newton meters for those E12 bolts as well. And this bolt right here that holds this line to this bracket right here, when I hand tighten it, I don't want to strip the bolt out. I'm gonna get these snug and then we'll torque them down. AC compressors torqued down to spec. Now we are going to do the alternator wire. And this is going to be 16 Newton meters. I forgot to reattach one of the wire holders. Goes onto the AC compressor bolt, the far right one. Okay, I think all the connectors are plugged up. All right, so E10 bolts, 9 to 11 Newton meters. I'm gonna go on the lower end of that and then see how it feels. I can't get the torque wrench in there, so we're gonna hand tighten it. Simple as that. Here's the belt wiring diagram. As you can see, it goes here. This is the tensioner, goes down, around, and through. Very important to get it right. Make sure that the belt grooves are in place. I'm gonna wipe the pulleys down just to make sure that things are clean. With that, the new OEM belt is installed. Okay, fan shroud back in place. We got the heat shield back on, and this little plastic tab actually still has a little groove where it can sit. And there's tabs at the bottom, and the tabs on this side are still intact as well. It is sitting nice and firm. It's not gonna go anywhere. I spent a bit of time on a side quest cleaning this wire up. These plastic tabs were broken off, and the heat wrap on this wire was exposed and unwrapping. I used some high heat electrical tape and got it all tucked away with some new zip ties, so that's looking good. I'm gonna torque these down to 20 Newton meters, same as the other E12 bolts. These are the E10s, 10 Newton meters, just slightly more than the other one. And now we just gotta reinstall our hood latch. It's important to get the hood latch right because we don't want the hood not to open. I see the marks from where the bolts were, so I'm gonna just reuse the same position exactly where it was before. Oh, that's really cool. There's actually a marking here when you reinstall them. That's actually really smart. That was about 8 Newton meters. I'm gonna hand tighten these. Very easy to strip them out because it's plastic. Okay, perfect. Now we gotta finish off our zip ties and we'll be good to start it back up. Zip ties done. Hopefully the alarm doesn't go off because it's 1:45 in the morning on a Monday night, Tuesday morning, I guess now. Okay, nice and tight. All right, everything is put back together. Everything looks good. I checked over everything several times. All the zip ties are back in and we are looking good. And I also haven't put the fender liner back because I do want to make sure that the belt is running smoothly. Final thing before starting the car, we're gonna clear all the codes. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. If you're my neighbors watching, I'm sorry. Once we start this, we're gonna check the codes, and as long as we don't have any fault codes for the alternator, then we should be good. All right, we're gonna say a little prayer. And 3, 2, 1. Wow, that sounds really good. The belts are looking good. Let me show you. No issues with the belts, no play, no wobble, no squeaking. Once it warmed up, it even got quieter. I haven't heard this car work this quiet in a long time, if at all. Wow, guys, it's way past 2 a.m. in the morning on a Monday. I have an interview tomorrow, but this smile, this is why we do it. And my fiance will be able to take her car to work tomorrow. Let's turn the AC on and make sure that there's no belt squeak. Yep, we're still good. The AC's kicked on. I'm beyond happy right now. And as you can see, the only fault code is this ABA collision prevention assist, which is what I was expecting. I'm gonna reinstall all the fender liner clips, but for these, we're just gonna hand tighten these. And that's all there is to it. Perfect. And same thing with these. All right, let's make sure our hood latch closes. Looks to be good. Now the real question is, will it open? Oh yes. And we just checked the tire pressure a couple weeks ago, so we're good there. Sorry, neighbors. All we have left to do is to torque the lug nuts to 96 foot-pounds or 130 Newton-meters. And we're done, ready for our test drive. All right, after test driving the car for the last 2 days, I can say for certain that this car feels 1000% better. Not only is the power delivery better, smoother, there are no more belt squeaks, the power steering is smoother, the fuel economy is better. I mean, everything is better about this car. It feels like a new car. And in our previous video, we fixed the PCV valve, so we have no check engine lights. The car is flawless. And hopefully it stays that way for a while because we have other projects to get to. The best way I can explain it and the way I understand it is the old alternator, because it was mechanically failing, was causing parasitic drag. An easy way to imagine is if you're riding a bicycle and you're just slightly pressing your brakes, you're having to work a little bit harder to compensate for that. Not only is that gone, but because we're getting the correct voltage from the alternator, everything else is just working flawlessly. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. If you want to see my future videos, make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. I'm sure there's going to be more Mercedes-Benz videos. We have to fix the BMW 335i with a spun rod bearing. And I know I've said this in the last 2 videos, but I am working on my full restoration video of my 1994 Isuzu Trooper. So hang in there. It's a 6-month project, so I have a lot of footage to go through, but it's going to be a good one when it comes out. God bless, and I hope to see you in the next video.